Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's wait for 2-3 more minutes. Let's start. Good afternoon, everyone. So today's topic is today we will discuss data analysis, and the data analysis we will discuss spread, in which we will cover the topic variance, standard deviation, and the interquartile range. In the last two terms, we have discussed about the measure of the centrality. Okay, measure of centrality is basically good indications when you are working with numeric data only. Okay, me, but if your data is very dispersed means फैला हुआ type का हो, spread हो, ठीक है, then we have to calculate the spread measures. Then we have to take care of the spread measures, because at times what you feel, your data look like very same. You have all the numeric values, but their spread is very different. Okay. So sometimes to analyze the data set correctly or properly, what you need to do is you need to find the spread of the data set. Okay. So initially, whenever you are working with some data set, first of all, calculate the measure of the centrality like mean, median, mode, like this, and then calculate the variance and the standard deviation. It will tell you how your data look like, how it the spread, how skewness is there or cortis is there. Like these measures are take care. Okay. So first of all, we take two data set, two vectors are there, x data and y data. In each of the vector, there are 8 different elements. Okay, so if you take the mean of each of the vector, then you can see that both the means are very same, 2.825, 2.825, because mean is basically your average, and if you are taking the average of different values, then if you can see now, there are different values in each vector. X data contain different values and Y data contain different values. But if we are taking the average, it will give me the same mean. Okay, so by just taking mean, we are not able to recognize what is actual spread of the data. Okay, so for that purpose, we need more measurements. The first measure is variance. So variance are basically your expectations of the square deviation of a random variable from its mean. Initially, in variance, we are calculating the how far a particular point is situated from the mean. Mean is your mean point or the average point, and if you are taking a distance of any value from the mean, then it is called a variance. So how we denote the variance? In variance, we use is sigma square, s square, or varx. All these three can be used to represent your variance. Sigma square, s square, or varx. And what it do? It will calculate the distance from the mean point. So you can see there are two different samples. First, if you see the mean value is same, both the red marked area in the plot and the blue marked area in the plot. If you see the dotted line is your mean value. If you see, mean is same for both the data set. 100 is your suppose mean value, so both the data contains the same mean. But if you look at the spread, these data is less spread from the mean. The red data is less spread from the mean. It means it is much more vertical shape. Whereas if you see the blue one, its spread is far away from the mean. If you consider the last point in the blue data set, last point is 230 and the mean value is 10. So it's very far apart. Whereas if you consider the red one, the only far apart distance is your 110, 120. So by taking the variance, so by using the variance, you can find these areas and you can calculate the distance from the mean. SD is your standard deviation. SD is nothing, is just a square root of your variance. I will tell you later what is standard deviation. Initially look at the variance. So variance are basically how varied your data from the mean value. We are calculating the distance of each and every point from the mean. And that distance will tell me how a particular data set is differed from the mean value. So sample variance measures the degree of the spread of numeric observations around their arithmetic mean. The variance is a particular representation of average square distance of each observation when compared to the mean. Suppose we have any data set X in which there are n number of values, x1, x2 up to xn. If we calculate the sample variance is basically s square or the sigma square. Any representation is equally important. You can write sigma square or you can write x square. These lower subscript x is denote you are taking the variance on the x data set. In place of x, you can write the name of the data set as well. If you are working with chick-weight data set, you just write s square chick-weight like this. Is given the following. How we calculate it? We calculate by the average of the square distances like x1 minus x bar, where x bar is your mean value, x1 is your first point in the data set, plus x2 minus x bar, where x bar is your mean value and x2 is your second point in the data set. Similarly, we'll go to the last point, nth point of the data set, and we subtract the mean value from it, and we take a whole square. Okay, so all the values are squared and summed together, and we divide it by n minus 1. So in a summation form, we can write 1 by n minus 1 sigma over I equals to 1 to n xi minus x bar ka whole square. Okay, so we are subtracting each and every value. We are subtracting mean value from each and every value present in the data set. We take the square, and then we take the sum of all these squared value, and we divide it by n minus 1. Then it will give me the total variance of the data set. So same example we have taken. This example is taken. X bar, X data is given. If you look at this, it contains 8 different values, and the mean value is 2.823. And the first value is 2. The second value is 4.4. So how will take a variance? We just divide the mean value from each value. 2 minus 2.8, this is the mean value. And we take a square. 4.4 is the second value. We subtract mean from here. And we take a square. Similarly, we'll do the thing for all the remaining values. And 0.9908 is your value of the variance. Now the standard deviation. Standard deviation in statics. The standard deviation is the measure of the amount of variation of the dispersion of the set of values.
Ma'am, one doubt is there.
Yes.
Ma'am, do we have any function through which we can calculate the variance, or we have to do all the necessary calculations?
I'm just telling you the background. Then I will tell you the functions, what we have used in R to calculate all these things. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
We have direct functions to calculate all. But know what is how we calculate the variance, how we calculate the standard deviation. Okay.
Yes. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So now standard deviations is basically a measure which show your dispersion value. And how we calculate the standard deviation, we just take the square root of the variance. If we take the square root of the variance, then we calculate the standard deviation. We denote it by the sigma. This is a very well-known curve. Sometimes we call it a bell curve. Okay. In most of the interviews, sometimes examiner will ask, if you say your field is data mining, it will the examiner will always ask about the data set. He may ask what is normal distribution. Okay. So normal distribution are basically a curve. This is kind of curve. Okay. In which each data part or each subpart of the data set is a sigma distance apart. How we can elaborate this? Like this is a normal distribution. Sometimes we call it a bell-shaped curve also. Okay. I have taken this diagram from Wikipedia. You can consider any book to read about this diagram also. Okay. So the mean value is at the 0th point, and the first partition at sigma distance apart. The next one is 2 sigma. The next one is 3 sigma. Okay. So similarly, at the left side, we have the same partitions at the sigma distances apart. So this is the dispersion of the data set, and this dispersion is normal data. Actually, sometimes it happens if your data is skewed somewhere. Matlab, if data is populated at some place. Matlab, higher values at the first quarter and only the lower value at the last quarter. Actually, I will tell you from the start. Okay. Suppose you have the data set. Okay. So in data set, suppose 100 values are present. You divide your data at the 50th position, there is a mean value. Okay. But from the above 50 values, the values is very high, and from the lower 50 value, the value is very low. then the data is not a normal data. It is not normally distributed, because at the very half there is a high values, and at the very low there are very low values. So at that time we cannot say that it is a normal distributed. Okay, so some of the algorithms work only with the normal data. Then that times we have to normalize our data. Okay, for that purpose we have to take care consideration, and we normalize the data to come the data into a certain range where we can possibly apply our proposed algorithm or the existing algorithm. Okay, so in that way the normal distribution is an important one. Then there is one more diagram. You can see the sigma square is 1 here. This is a cumulative probability of the normal distribution. It lies from -1 to +1. Okay. So -1 is this point and +1 is this point. It will lie here from here, and where the sigma square, the variance value is your 1. Obviously, the variance value is your 1. Then if you take the standard deviation, it will give you 0.5, because it will give me the square root function. Okay. So what we do to calculate the standard deviation, we just square root the variance. As the square is the variance value, we take the square root, it will give me a standard deviation. This is the very same formula to calculate the variance, 1 by n minus 1 sigma I1 to n xi minus x bar ka whole square. If we take the square root of the very same example, 0.908, then it will give me 0.953, and this is a standard deviation. It actually represents the average distance of each observation from the mean. We can say this is a kind of average of all the distances considered from the mean value. Then we have the interquartile range. In an interquartile range, we have discussed about the quartile range. We have discussed about quantile and percentile. The interquartile range, basically, if we are taking the first quantile and the it actually represents the width of the middle of the data. The quantile we are calculating at the 100% of the data. The interquartile will calculate the 50% of data look like, matlab how it will look like. So we just divide the quantile calculated at 0.75 minus quantile calculated as 0.25. Okay. So in R, what we have a standard, direct standard syntaxes to calculate your variance, standard deviation, and IQR. For variance, we can use var. For standard deviation, we can use SD. And for interquartile range, we can use IQR. Okay. If you're taking the interquartile range, it will tell you the distance of upper quantile and lower quantile. It will remain the first 25% and last 25% is we just focus on the middle of the data, middle part of the data. So this is the calculation of the variance of the X data. X data is same vector. We just write var here. It will give me variance. If we write SD, it will give me standard deviation. And if we write IQR X data, then it will give me an interquartile range. If you are not using these standard syntaxes, then you can also use mathematical function like SQRT, square root of the variance. You will get the same result of SD like this. Similarly, for interquartile range, if you are not using IQR, then you can use as numeric calculation of quantile at 0.75% minus calculation of quantile at 0.25%. Now to calculate the Chigwet data set standard deviation, you just write standard deviation. The weight is one of the column from the Chigwet data set. We write the data set name, then we use the member referencing, then we write the name of the column. Okay. So we write it, we can calculate the standard deviation. Similarly, for the Quax data set, for a value magnitude, we can calculate the Quax where the depth is given, the depth is less than 400. We can use IQR to calculate the standard quantile range. Let's see these operations in R. So these are the first two vectors we have taken, X data and Y data. If we write X data here, then it will formal returns all the values here. Okay. Similarly, if we write Y data here, then it will give in return all the values of Y. Now to calculate the mean, if we calculate the mean, you can see both the means are same, but this mean will not give me an appropriate result because it is showing that both the means are same, but if you are showing, if you are taking in consideration both the vectors, then you can find all the values are different. So mean is not giving the appropriate results of the data. So for that purpose, we will calculate the variance, standard deviation and IQR. So it will give me variance, standard deviation and interquartile range. You just replace X data with Y data. You can calculate the variance, standard deviation and IQR also. These are some of the formulas. If you are not using these standard formula functions, then you can use square root of the variance to calculate the standard deviation and as numeric quantile 75 minus quantile 0.25 to calculate the interquartile range. Similarly, the SDR, here just write where so you can calculate the variance, standard deviation and IQR of Y data set, where you can find all the results. Then last I have the standard deviation of the chickbed data set and IQR of the chickbed data set. So what is the observation of here? If you see now what is the observation, you can find like the output is 78.0737. What it represents? It represents that every weight of the chicken, average weight of the chicken is 78%. Okay. Average weight of the chicken is 78%. And what it the interquartile range weight shows in? It will show that the 50% of the chicken weight data set, the values which are present here, 50% of the chicken data set, the value, the average average weight lies 119. Similarly, we can calculate the interquartile range for the Quax data set, where we are calculating the interquartile range for magnitude data, where the magnitude condition is given where depth is less than 400. So the interquartile range is like the middle 50% of the data, the magnitude is 0.5%. So by using all these measurements, you can identify the properties of your data set. If you are correctly identify the properties of your data set, then you can correctly identify which type of algorithm is the most suitable for the data set. If you don't analyze your data set properly, if you apply any kind of algorithm to blankly and apply any kind of algorithm to any data set, you will not identify an appropriate results. So the first thing is that identify your data properly, check all the ranges properly, and then go for the algorithm selection part. That's all with today's lecture. I'm just ending this meeting.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.